Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm. This week, we're going to be kicking back a little bit and relaxing because we got FanFest in 2 weeks. We have the schedule for FanFest, all the panels they're going to be doing, some statements from some of the people who are working on it, specifically Soken himself, which gets me a little bit excited. And yeah, just some predictions and memories from the old FanFest to let people know what to expect, I suppose. Although, right now, I'll tell you about 110 degrees and do not sit down on the pavement because you will become a fried egg. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Happy, and of course, joining me is Sly. How you doing, Sly?
Hi.
Well, now this time, not a partner in crime at FanFest because I'm not going, but generally speaking, we would normally be.
Normally. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty well. I'm still not ready 100% for FanFest, but I'll get there eventually.
What are you not ready for?
Just not ready.
Okay, I guess I won't dig any deeper on that. It's like, what do you mean you're not ready? You're not packed? You don't have it's like, no, I'm just not ready.
I'm just not ready. No.
Well, with that insightful look into Sly's readiness, which is we now know is not, yeah, that's all we're going to be doing. It's going to be probably a chill episode. We did, as a heads up, get confirmation that next week is 6.45 as we predicted. So next week's show is going to be about first impressions of 6.45. So variant, Criterion, Hildebrand, Manderville, Blue Mage, all that stuff. Tuesday, July 18th, and that's what next week's show. We'll be skipping the week after that because Sly will be at FanFest that day, where we would normally hold State of the Realm. Unless you want to fucking call me, just from the show floor, just be like, let's fucking
sure. Sure. Let's do a show from FanFest and I'll bring my equipment and
just get a selfie stick. Yeah. Get a selfie stick and get one of those mics that hooks like right here. There you go. And there you go. You're good. You're all set, and then just pretend like the FanFest isn't happening around you, and just completely shut yourself off from everyone. That sounds like the best way to enjoy Vegas is alone.
Usually is in most cases.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I might actually be right on that one. Well, alone, just not for long. Anyway, different kind of Vegas trip. So. With that, thank you to our sponsors before we get started. We always have Steel Series. They just wrapped up Prime Day sales. Unfortunate that they didn't line up with State of the Realm because those Prime Day sales are nice. They had like 40% off on like keyboards and mice and all sorts of stuff. But that's not right now. Now you just got to deal with the 12% if you're in the chat. You just oh no, 12%. Oh no. Thanks for that. Thanks to our sponsors over on Patreon as well for supporting. They don't have to. All of our content's available for free. So if you do support us over there, we appreciate it, but far from necessary. And with that, I think we're ready to get started. So now it's fortunate because we had planned to do this, sort of loosely planned to do this show this week because we, didn't know if 6.45 was really going to be hitting next Tuesday. So there was like a bit of a question mark. Highly likely, but without certainty, it's hard to say. And number two, we didn't actually have very many details about FanFest itself yet. We literally... Last week when we thought about this, we didn't have the panels, we didn't have the schedule, we just knew what kind of normally happens.
Don't you love it when everything falls into your lap?
Yeah.
Serendipitously?
Considering half of these shows just fall into our lap, yeah.
Yeah.
This one was already in our lap. It's just now our lap is fuller.
Yeah.
I suppose is the best way to put it. They did post an entire schedule. We've seen things like the goodie bag, what kind of events there are going to be. And before we get too much into the specifics of it, this is, I think, the first FanFest that I've looked at the schedule and thought this is very much a FanFest for the North American audience.
What do you mean?
Almost everything is in only English. There's very little Japanese to English translation, which is a far cry from every FanFest that we've ever had. It's usually the PvP is pure English and then maybe cosplay. And that's kind of it. But I'm just not used to it. It's good. It's nice, but it's the majority of stuff is full English, just not even translated, which just surprised me. And I think seeing some of the names that worked on some of the panels, I think I can see why, because we have a lot of, fortunately, the NA community team has always been incredibly strong But this feels like a time where they're like really coming to town to like flex that they are the North American community team, because they are in charge of a lot of stuff across these panels. So it's really good to see that that they're commanding more of the show, I suppose, and not just oh, that's the North American community team, and you're like, okay, which is how it always felt at the last ones. It's like, no, bring them up. Oh man, but we all know the main reason for FanFest, Sly. What is the main reason?
Merch.
Okay, what's the second reason?
Primal's concert.
You're gonna say the piano concert for the third reason? If I ask?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Keiko.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I thought you were gonna say Vegas at some point. Practice. I was like, oh, he's gonna say Vegas.
I mean, it's Vegas. Like, after doing how many fan fests here, like, I've kind of desensitized myself from Vegas a little bit. I mean, it's Vegas. Like, it's a means to an end, I guess.
That sentence is more true about Vegas than I think anybody could have put it. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, we already know that Yoshi P likes going to the slot machines till 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Drinking cigarette in hand and boop, boop.
I mean, he just looks so fucking cozy doing it. Like he just like, because usually like casinos are like the coldest places on earth because they have the AC blasting all the fucking time. He just looks so cozy. Like he looks like my nana. Like with just a cigarette and just glasses.
I want to see him win big. I want to see him just jackpot a machine while he's doing it and just feel like, okay,
all right.
all right, I got money. That's fine. But yes, no. So the main thing is, and I think this is the number one question we get about FanFest. Are they going to announce the expansion at FanFest, Sly?
I mean, it's kind of a little late to buck the trend, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten the question a lot, though, because a lot of people's only FanFest...
Yeah, so why wouldn't, like, to this question, I would reply, why wouldn't they? Like,
because the big thing is, most people's only FanFest was the singular online one, which they didn't know if that was the norm for, like, all FanFests.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and clear that now. That's not the norm. That is
what is completely
different.
What is the norm?
The norm. Okay, the norm. You get there, opening ceremony, opening keynote. You get a trailer. Boom. Your expansion's announced, and they'll probably go into more detail about it a little bit in the keynote. After that, it's a bunch of in-person events and stuff, the trial, whatnot. You can go off and do other things. You can unofficially meet your favorite creators. I say unofficial because, like, we don't have an official capacity, like, meet up and set up and everything like that. It's just, if you see them, say hi. Use your words. Just don't be creepy. Don't be weird. Just say hi. Other than that, like, other panels and stuff that, like, there's some of the panels that I'm really looking forward to, actually, and we'll talk about those.
Yeah.
And then when the day is done, you go explore Vegas, get food, or go the fuck to sleep. Rinse, repeat until it's time to leave.
Make some plans for a nice restaurant, and then go to sleep. At the very least, go get something to eat. Go get something.
See, here's the problem. Like, I only do that like one night out of the entirety of FanFest, and then the rest. I know you got to eat, but like, there's one night where it's like a good plan, like restaurant and everything, like a nice restaurant, like make plans for it. The rest of the time, it's just like I'm honestly just eating just to eat, just to put something on my stomach. It's not even like extravagant or anything. It's just I just need food.
Well, if you want extravagant, but you just want food, the number one recommendation from me would be, if you are near the Cosmopolitan, to go up to the second floor and find Secret Pizza. that is the number one recommendation from me. There is no sign. There are no directions. You need to Google it to find out where it is. It's down a long back alley that is, again, completely unmarked, but it is in the hotel in the Cosmo. And it is the best pizza you will have in Vegas, and potentially some of the better pizza that you've had, even if you're an East Coaster like me. So...
and that's saying something.
That's saying something. That's well worth the potential 45-minute line you may have for your secret pizza. And it'll be at nighttime, too, because they're usually open till like 2 a.m., I think. So at night, Vegas ain't too hot. It's a desert, so it's not too bad to walk outside and get that. Don't go in the middle of the day. But in the middle of the day, you should be at FanFest, and you'll have to eat in the convention center because you cannot bring food from outside the convention center and food or drink into the convention center. So please bear that in mind as well. But that opening keynote, that's going to be our expansion announcement, 7.0.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the rest of the news about the opening keynote is not always the best when you ask North American players about like what to expect.
Because we're the first one. So you get the one of the teaser trailers. I say the very first cut of the teaser trailer, and that's it. Like normally, like Europe, especially Japan, they'll get the rest of it. They get the completed, probably opening video of what will be the expansion, while we just get like a snippet. And we take that snippet and we really, really get hyped from that snippet. We'll until we get the next part of it, months in it, like in the future. Yeah, we'll just hold on to that and like watch that religiously. But that's all we get. And then like the news we get is very, very, very sparse. Because again, we're the first one. So we like you'll get a few slides of possible locales. There will be a new job. You just don't know what it is until the next.
That's an important thing, because every time they've done that, he actually goes out of his way to say jobs. Like even like Koji historically has like put a lot of emphasis on the plural part. So people are going to be listening very closely to that.
Very intently
this time to make sure, like, is it still two jobs? Because everyone's predicting that we're going to go down to one, or not everyone, but it's at least a more common prediction.
Yeah.
But there's something more important that we normally get in terms of the job predictions, Sly.
Fucking shirt. So like that's it. Just watch if Yoshi P makes a showing out of his shirt, and this is for those first timers. When Yoshi P like makes a showing out of what the fuck he's wearing, it's a hint as to what one of the jobs will be. And it's very, very cryptic. You have to like going from past shirts and then what the jobs eventually were. Like you really have to do some like detective style digging and like conspiracy strings to kind of like piece together what the job is. Some are easier, like Sam Raimi. Like, okay, sure. Others were kind of cryptic. So again,
I don't know. He wore a Batman shirt one time. That wasn't exactly fucking cryptic.
Yeah.
It's Scarlet Witch, Batman. The 007 one was really tricky. Nobody figured that out.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That was the one I was thinking of. Like,
Yeah, the 007 one was pretty tricky, but the rest. And I think that the Reaper one, the first Reaper shirt was a little bit like, we knew a scythe weapon was coming, but the second one made it like, okay, it's probably going to be called Reaper at this point. But that's going to be, that's it. That's like, basically that's your job announcement without your job announcement and your speculation and everything that comes out of it. But it's so funny that you mentioned maybe we get like a major, like I looked back, and normally it's a lot of like fluff and overview, but it's like, challenging new dungeons and high end raids and new alliance raid. And they tell us fucking nothing about any of them. Just that they're going to exist.
We know what that means. We know the Final Fantasy buzzwords when it comes to FanFest. Like it's a dungeon. It's dungeons. Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
challenging new dungeons gets ragged on every time. It's like
every time. Yeah.
Sometimes we do get little things. Like we found out that Eureka was going to exist. We learned nothing about it, but we did learn Eureka was going to exist at a North American one. We also, you know what we learned at a North American one, Sly? Do you remember when the ex-CEO came out dressed as a blue mage?
It's like, again, I talk about this moment all the time. One of the best moments where you could see the change in emotion about a job, like from 0 to 100, just like that, or 100 to 0. It's like you see the slide, blue mage, hey, limited job.
Well,
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? And then we found out the next day, and the disappointment on day 2 was just, it was like, what is,
yeah, it's already even lower, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's, that did not make for a great second day of FanFest when they spent all of the live letter explaining it to us, and we all went, why? Why are you doing this right now? Oh, man. There was something else. I'm trying to think of other stuff that kind of snuck through. I think we had female Vieira unveiled actually at one of them. Well, obviously I say female, but yeah, I mean, technically, yeah,
Vieira.
Yeah, Vieira, but like, you know, because male would get revealed like way later. So there is always the thought, because we do know female Hrothgar is something that is happening. They've already told us many times over. So it's within reason
do we see a slide about it?
I think we see the teaser video. Like we saw a teaser video of Vieira at a North American one. So I don't see why we couldn't potentially get the female Hrothgar.
But see, that was the whole Destiny's Child Vieira. That wasn't like male Vieira. It didn't encompass like male.
But it was still a race announcement, because then they skipped EU and then they did Hrothgar at JP. Which was very, very confusing when they skipped on. I'm almost certain that the Vieira one was from that female Vieira was from a North American one, whereas male Vieira was just like part of the online keynote. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, so that's something. And then I think the graphics update is something a lot of people are expecting to see in some capacity here. We saw it like a year and a half ago once already, so it's not like it's like too early to talk about again. You know, that kind of situation.
It's just a matter of how much detail they're going to go in here rather than the other FanFest. Because I feel like with the graphics update, like it's something really, really important. So I really feel that like they save the brunt of that for JP.
I mean, they always do. Like JP always gets like all of the major final details that come out of JP are always like the most important details, or at least they complete the picture, I suppose, is the best way. But I think the graphical update, I think we'll see some of it here. I think they're gonna be slow to reveal everything about it. I think the parts that are more finished will get talked about. I think it'll show it all of them. In all honesty, I think that's going to be a recurring segment to talk about, like, oh, last time we showed you this and this and this, and now we're going to show you this and this and this, and then we're going to show you this and this and this, and that's then we get the benchmark, and the benchmark is obviously going to have the graphical update as a part of it, like way down the line in like 9-10 months. So but it's always hard to convey to people that the amount of information that comes out of the North American one is very high level or not that detailed, because everyone's like, oh, it's new, but it's like sort of like we really just take all of North American FanFest to digest where we're going, like, or whatever they've like actually managed, or try to figure out where we're going. And then this is, I guess, our first look at to find out whether we're going to Mara City or not, because I mean, I don't feel like they could keep that a secret past the trailer. It's not like Shadowbringers where they actually waited to tell us we were going to the first until the second FanFest.
The irony.
There's a lot of predictions that we were, but they didn't officially say it till the second FanFest. So
yeah,
hell of a time. And then after you get through like the first part of the keynote, you end up just like looking back at the events, trying to see what line you can rush to beat everyone else.
Well, I kind of feel like we kind of skipped a step before we get to all of this. You know, there's the unofficial first day, which you get their registration. Usually, this is the time where if you got you came with your FCs or your friends, you beat them and whatnot. But yeah, usually like registration, you go pick up your badge and your goodie bag and whatnot. And then it's kind of like a hangout from that point, pretty much all day. Like I call it day zero.
Yeah, that's what most people call it in the con world is day zero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like day zero is pretty chill. Like, and hopefully usually the registration experience is pretty streamlined, and I feel like that's improved from FanFest to FanFest, like ever since the first one.
Well, this time the day zero is probably not going to be as important for a couple of reasons. One, it's not in the hotel; you have to go to the convention center.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people will show up early on day one to actually register, as opposed to going the day before. And then that's when most people would then congregate together. Would be going to registration the day before, and then just you just happen to go across people, or you go with friends or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen here because you can't just hang out in the convention center like if you're not there.
I mean, but usually, well, it depends on like their. I mean, you don't have to hang out around the area, but just in the vicinity somewhat, and just.
I think people are just gonna like in their respective hotels. They'll plan to meet people because you're not gonna hang out outside the convention center in July. It's not fucking happening.
Oh no. Oh no.
And you can't hang out in the convention center if you're just idling. Like, you can't just loiter in the main hall of the convention center for no reason.
That's what usually happens.
But we've never been at the Las Vegas convention, like the building. You can do that when it's in the hotels and it's in the hallways, but you can't just do that at the Las Vegas Convention Center. You can't just say, I'm going to sit in the lobby of the Las Vegas Convention Center. And like be a mass of people doing that. Like, I think it's a lot
like
different.
I kind of compare this to TwitchCon in a way, where
yeah, but again, TwitchCon is still like everyone's at the San Diego Convention Center for TwitchCon, and you're in the lobby for TwitchCon. There's like 3 other things happening in the Las Vegas Convention Center the same weekend. Like, this is one of 3 or 4 events that's there.
Oh shit.
So yeah, you can't just stand there like in the middle. Like obviously if you're in there for a reason, yeah, you can just, okay, well, I'll meet you in the lobby or whatever. And but I don't think this is going to be the same where it's like people going in and out for registration and it just becomes a mass of people. I think it's going to be down to people meeting the people they plan to meet in their hotels or going to a hotel. Like, it's making plans for day zero, not randomly running into people. Because like I said, I think people are going to wait until the first day, get there early and register there. Because registration was super, super quick and clean the last time. It took most people like 20 minutes to get their badge. Or in this case, now it's an armband, I believe. So I just think that's going to be different. I won't be there, so I don't have to fucking worry about it. But I think it's going to be different, personally. We shall see. But that is true. I mean, that is normally a thing. I don't have much in the way of expectation for people for this one. But that keynote is like the premier thing that FanFest is for. And after that, it very much depends how much you wanted to see FanFest versus how much you just wanted to be in Vegas around other people who were going to FanFest.
Yeah.
Because you can line up for like the Asura trial, for example, is going to be there. They normally have like that extreme roulette, PvP, like a bunch of mini games, merch. But the main thing is the main stage with the panels. And generally, you have to choose to commit to one or the other, because if you try to get in the lines for things, you generally miss the panels. And if you go to the panels, you never have time to get in the line for things. So it's a back and forth battle between which ones you want to do. And that is probably going to be the case again this time. But what I find is most people just hang around and talk.
Yeah.
Because that's it. They're just like, I'm so glad to see you, or oh, it's nice to meet you. Like it becomes a social event that has 14 stuff happening behind you, practically.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to be any different here, because again, being just in the hotel changes that a lot. I don't know if at the convention center people maybe are going to feel the need to be a part of things more. I don't know.
I mean, it varies from person to person, honestly. Again, for some of the panels, do look interesting to me now. Definitely checking out. But yeah, more often than not, it's just well, one thing I really don't have to worry about is like taking a bunch of merch back to the hotel room, because I've done like the first run of my merch stuff online, and it's getting here in a few days. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that. So one thing you and I have dealt with in the past is like, us getting from point A to B and, speaking to people. So that's kind of what happens. Mm-hmm. And then, like, again, one thing that's different about this is, we kind of knew going in, like, hey, there was going to be a Q&A. We can go to this Q&A. Yada. Like, this time, nothing of the sort. So I kind of had this freedom to just go around and, just relax, or, speak to people, or if I really want to get in line to do the Asura challenge, I'll go do it. I probably want to knock that out as soon as I can.
Unlike what we did the last time, where we went 5 minutes before they closed it and said, "Can we do one? Should we do one real quick? Can you get some
real quick?"
I think we had to get one of the people who was managing the line to join our party, like, because there was no line to manage anymore. We were just like, "Get in here. We don't have an eighth. Come on." This time it's really like, other than the keynote and the live letter, the panels are very much to flavor and not to. It's unlikely that anything new is going to come out of the panels. They are very much entertainment and
what we like to call in live letters fluff.
Yeah, I suppose it's fluff. It's fluff that you either love fluff or you don't love fluff.
Yeah. And this time it's like, because normally in the past, like when we talk about the fluff, you get a lot of banter in fluff.
Yeah.
But this time it's like actual, informative fluff.
It's not even just that. Fluff. The problem that we normally have with fluff is there's the language barrier that happens, because when we're covering things most of the time, it's banter in Japanese, and you're kind of playing catch up with it the whole time. Like, you maybe you're hoping somebody even translates it. That's why they mentioned that this one seems like it's made more for the North American audience, because most of the panels are in English, outright English, not even, again, translated Japanese to English.
For the live letter at FanFest, they said there was going to be a Q&A.
I think so.
You had to apply for or put in the forums.
Let me pull it up. It says on the main page, it's 6.5 part 1. And then there's also miscellaneous updates. I don't see anything about a Q&A. No. Nothing. Yeah, 6. It's a traditional live letter through and through. There's no Q&A here. I think they've learned their lesson finally. Thank God. No. So looking at the panel events in order, we have a Realm Revisited, which is being hosted by Aya and Danielle. Like I said, they're putting the North American team much more at the forefront in this one, and they are That them and Matt pretty much the premier front. Reinhardt does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. He's always the technical guy. He never gets the limelight.
You'll see him there, but he's just like always doing something. It's kind of hard to get a hold of him.
He's the most capable in terms of like managing. It feels like so they get because every time I've seen Reinhardt at an event, I'm knowing full well what his role is. He's always running all over the place to like take care of stuff.
So we usually just say hi really quick and like we know you got to run. Just go ahead, do you?
Yeah. So I looked at this like, where is he? And then I was like, oh no, never mind. He probably doesn't want to do this shit. He's probably got so many other things that he needs to do. It's always good to see him. It's good to see him whenever he's just shuffling by. But this first one, I relate to this first one quite heavily. It's revisiting impactful moments made on 14 over the years, from grandiose moments to community memes. Enjoy the walk down memory lane. And that is just, a 10th anniversary celebration. I've been doing a lot of that myself, so I'm glad to see that they're doing something on an official capacity with Aya and Danielle. And that's, again, it's just English panel. That's it. So again, really easy to follow along. No translations, which are great, but still, it's just very different to just have it outright. The next panel, however, is beginning from the end, the annotated Endwalker, and that is an Ishikawa and Yoshida panel, which is of course going to be translated because it's at North America, but is I think that's one most people want. Usually when Ishikawa is on a panel, people want to watch the panel. She kind of instantly draws eyes to a panel. So that is the correct developer guest to bring to North America. And I think also amongst, not I guess all the developers, but I think in terms of the community's overall knowledge of and appreciation of, I think that, Soken and Ishikawa are kind of like the peak of like the developers that North America's audience knows. So like when you bring on other people, like they brought on like, Kenji Sudo before, they brought on, they brought on like art directors and stuff, and the community always feels like a harder time like drawing interest outside of the specific topic. But this is just like, oh, Ishikawa, we're watching, we're going. So that one's gonna be fun. That one's 2 hours.
Yeah,
probably because of the translations that have to get done. Whereas the English one's only an hour. And then we have the cosplay walk. Now it's not to be confused with the contest, I believe, where it's literally just a showcase, from what I understand.
Yeah.
It's just pageantry and dedication. And again, that's Aya and Danielle. Yoshi P's got to be thrilled that he's not on stage 90% of the fucking time here. Because as far as we know, there were no media badges. That was like a whole big thing that everyone was talking about. Like when the thing came out, like everyone was tweeting, no, we didn't get one. No, we didn't get one. We have no idea if there was one. So we're assuming he's not in the back doing meetings the whole time. He's probably just walking around FanFest outside of these panels or smoking.
Yeah.
So he's probably thrilled to not be on stage all the time. And I know it does very likely mean people in attendance will have more opportunities to actually see him. He will probably participate in the battle challenges as well. That's something he does like to try to do. He just cuts in the line and says, my turn. And then the one person who gets left out is like, that could have been me. Oh, man. And then they have the concert. The concert's at 7 p.m. That feels early to me. I wonder if that's because it's in the convention center.
Has it, like, in the past been usually later?
I feel like so. I haven't gone back and looked at the schedule, like, to compare the actual hours, but that feels real. Because, like, when you're done with the piano performance at 8 p.m., you have a whole night ahead of you to, like, be in Vegas or to, like, go out, like... There's tons of time for plans, whereas normally I always remember having to kind of choose between going to the concert on the first night, because it's like the second night is the Primals concert, so of course you're going. But the first night it's like the piano. Not everyone's into a piano concert, so you can kind of weigh the option there, I suppose. But it's always felt like making the plans afterwards was really tough, or you had to be out late. This seems, I don't know, just seems early. Maybe I just don't remember it because it's been... 5 years? 5? 2014, 2018.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking 5 years. since the last in-person one. I went to the 2019 one as well, but I mean just referring to North America.
Yeah.
And that's it for the first day. No, apparently in the previous year it was at 7 p.m. the piano concert. Just it seems early. I don't know why. In my head, it's way later. Just making shit up. That's it. All right. Yeah, and I mean, that has Keiko and Soken. So, do you think he does anything that isn't Lahi, but is equally as embarrassing?
Is equally cringe? He'll pull something. Yeah.
I wonder what.
It's Soken. You never know.
Yeah, nobody could have seen Lahi coming. That was unpredictable. that was not a moment. Now, I do want to bring up something important about the piano performance and about the Primals concert. There's two things that need to be noted. They are not streamed online. If you are not going, you are not seeing them. Point number two is in theory. Because I don't fully understand Soken's tweet. So I'm not going to think that there's a possibility. But he tweeted that the reason they're not streaming the concerts is not because they can't. Like, because of, like, music laws or some sort of licensing. It's because he's worried about the actual technical problems that they've had with concerts and live streaming. Because he's always upset at audio quality. Whether it's you can't hear the crowds properly or you can't hear the instrumentation. He is always, it feels like every year, been upset with what when he finally hears it back or checks Twitter or things.
I feel like with the FanFest Online, he kind of overcame that hurdle.
They had
a little bit
because there was no option. They didn't have to worry about the fucking crowd, so that problem was eliminated. So they just focused on that. But they also were in Japan. Not like across an ocean in another country with limited, like they had a lot more ability to control everything and access everything. They don't have that here. Here they are going to have a short setup time. They need to make sure everything works, the rehearsals, all that stuff. But the big thing is that he said, if we can resolve those issues, we can stream it. Now, because he's not native English, he doesn't speak English as his native language, I assume that means that it's an if they could, they would, and not if we can, we will. You know? Because that tweet almost implies that it's still possible. But I don't think that's, I think that's not the case. That may be the case at the other ones, which may mean that the Japan one gets streamed if they have that same kind of access. It sounds like in the future, if it can be resolved, we will stream it. But I'm just trying to read between the lines here. That's not happening here no matter what, but maybe in the future if they can just not have so many technical issues. I think they should just do it anyway, but I'm not going to tell Soken how his music needs to sound or how I know it's fine. You cannot tell an audio nut, oh, it's fine.
It's not fine.
It's not fine.
It's not fine. It's not fine. Like quadruple check everything.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like we've like had 20-minute delays on live letters when the audio gets messed up because he gets upset about it. Like, you know, it's not gonna happen. So, but it is interesting to see that that is the only reason is he's just worried about the quality of the concert when it's streaming online and not any other reason. Because I think a lot of people suspected a number of reasons that wasn't just that. So to just hear it's that is, I don't know. It's a nice little confirmation that it's just a technical thing. And we always get a Blu-ray later anyway. It's always a Blu-ray release of the concerts at some point. Usually just the Japanese concert, but either way, that'll be fine. They'll probably record stuff locally too. And that, I'm sure he has confidence in, the local recording. But that's it for day one, and then we go into day two. And day two actually is almost the same every year. Almost the same. Letter from the Producer live. Same time as the keynote, hour and a half. This one's on 6.5, part 1. Sly, that's our final patch. final major patch for the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they really want to fucking surprise us. And there's a 6.6 somehow, which I doubt. But who knows?
No.
Never know. But no, this should be. We were already told.
No,
we
do.
Yeah.
We do know. We do know. Yeah. What are we getting?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's even said that like the expansion, like the in-game explanation for why we're going where we're going in the expansion is going to kind of hit like a ton of bricks in 6.55. That's part 2. So we've already heard that explanation before. So that's just what I expect. It's no 6.6, but that's our final patch. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. Because in the last like 3 years, in the last 3 years, it's been about 25 years. So if you think about it, that means that in the last year and a half of the expansion, it's been like 15 years. So this 15-year expansion is already coming to. It is. And it's weird because with all the content, like a lot of complaining about content droughts and whatnot, I can't help but feel like this expansion fucking flew by.
It did.
It's weird. It's a weird feeling.
So do you think after this, do you think the drought will hit a little bit harder? Because like this is it was different. It was different before because we had online, we had FanFest online, and that was it. And like the content drought, it just was there. It existed. This one, I feel like it's going to kind of hit a little bit harder once we get all this information, and we just have to hold on to it until, media tour and whatnot.
You know what? I don't think it's going to be like that. And here's why. We have 3 FanFests again. I think that helps. Having 3 FanFests again is pretty big in terms of occupying people and occupying their minds at the very least. Now, whether or not the content occupies their time is a whole other story. I don't think that changes at all. But having 3 different FanFests certainly helps the wait because we have this one coming up end of July, October, and January. Then we will probably have the last 3 months or so to blitz information. They'll probably do a media tour again, live letters, whatever they plan on doing. But we also have to consider collaborations returning. We even know for the 10th anniversary, they're doing their own 10th anniversary like Moogle Tome event, so they might do other stuff. We're expecting the 16-14 collab. I would suspect it would probably be something to bide time until the expansion release. They'll probably bring back the 15 one again. They've even said there's other collaborations they're thinking of doing, but they're probably real life collaborations like the Puma thing and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I'm thinking of collaborations, I'm thinking of the next one that's not 16. So
come on, give us another Monster Hunter one. Look, I found my Palico. This one, this would be the most useless Palico in existence. Look at him. What the fuck kind of Palico is this?
But again, it begs the question: what other companies would you like to see? Besides the obvious, Capcom, Monster Hunter 1. What was it? Level 5 for
Yokai.
Yokai Watch.
Yeah.
What other companies would you like to see?
I don't care. I don't really care for collaborations. Like, if the collaboration itself is good, great. But if it isn't, it's just... Honestly, there's always the chance for a 7 collab as well. Rebirth is coming out.
But that's it's
I know that's within Square, but I mean, in terms of just another collaboration, there is, of course, the 7 one. I didn't even have to ask what yours is, Mr. Shin Megami Tensei.
One day we'll get a fight with Shiva, with actual Shiva.
Hades and actual Hades.
Actual Hades. Yeah, exactly. Oh, fights with like primals and their actual demon god counterparts. That'd be so fucking amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't really care whether or not we get collaborations. I expect Final Fantasy related ones like 16 and 7. Like that's for me, that's a given. But like in terms of like third party ones, it's like I don't have a great track record. Like Monster Hunter is the exception, but yokai. I mean, I guess technically, here's the thing: the what's it called? Gato one is only good because it's not even like an actual content. It's just here are some armors that are in PvP. So it's not even like an actual like in-depth collaboration. So it's just
but it did its job.
Awards. Yeah,
it really did its job, and like people went after it. And yeah, the armor's still there, right? Like we haven't gotten rid of it at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was gone for like a couple years, but it's been back for a little while now. Yeah. And then Nier, you know how I feel about that.
Do not, for the life of me, do not put collabs within the freaking story. Ever again. Ever. I don't even care if it's Shin Megami Tensei. Don't do it. Because I will hate it immediately if you try to.
You mean you don't want to jump into a TV and there's our alliance rate?
No, I do not. No.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, thank you. I will agree with that. But yeah, started day 2, letter from the producer live, 6.5, like we said. That's going to be, whatever, run of the mill, part 1, live letter. We're doing this, screenshot of this, That's nothing out of the ordinary. The big difference is A, it will be in Japanese and English. B, it won't be at 3 in the fucking morning. And for North America and Europe, for Japan, it will kind of be at 3 in the morning. It's actually 2 in the morning in Japan for that, but that's they get to lose once in a while. So, yeah, that's fine. And number 3 is that I don't know what my third. I had a third difference lined up and I totally forgot what it was. But either way, FanFest. I mean, it's just a live letter that's at FanFest. That's the only difference. But it's a live letter through and through. Then at 1 p.m., we have the Crystalline Conflict Regional Championship with Brian and Frosty doing the majority of the casting, the active casting. I have loved the events they put on for Crystalline Conflict, both the community that Brian and Frosty have also been a part of.
And the officials.
And the official stuff. I think Crystalline Conflict is a much better spectator sport. I actually thought the feast was okay, but tracking the medals and everything was a little bit too much. So this I'm really excited for. I also think that at 2018, the live feast event they had there was exceptionally well done. I sat there and watched the whole thing. I thought it was really good. I thought that the casting and the live casting talent really brought a lot to that. So I think that's going to be very exciting. And I'll be tuning into that on the stream without a doubt.
Yeah.
So big ups for that one. The Language of Creation, which is going to be talking about, and I'm just going to read it, how the team uses the language to give life to 14's myriad realms and the key role of collaboration in bringing Endwalker's expansive story to global audiences. Also, Koji's there for some reason.
We kind of brought this up with Moose about how, we get like different, we try to read a little bit of context out of the different languages. And so I think, this is definitely one for the lore heads out there. Also get to see Kate.
Kate's going to be the translator on stage for everything else. She's actually a presenter at this one. You want to know something funny that I didn't know about Final Fantasy 3? In Final Fantasy 3, there is a secret developer room, but it only has one person in it, and it's a pink-haired woman named Kate. I don't even think she was born yet when that game was made.
And this is, I thought you meant like Pixel Remaster.
No, I mean the original.
Oh,
like 1989.
Wow.
No, they don't have that. I don't think they have that room in the Pixel. They might. I don't remember. But I found her in there, and I was like, wait a minute. They knew the prophet Sakaguchi, the prophet. And I think it's funny because I think it was a localization developer. I gotta check. It's
Had to
something.
be.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I don't remember what they said their role was. Because I know it's not the sole developer, because the sole developer was not a woman named Kate. I know that for a fact. So.
Food here. Entertain for a minute.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot to mention at the start of the show, Sly had food on the way. So he said it was going to be at the start of the show. It's been an hour since
halfway through.
Yeah, we're an hour into the show, and now I'd forgotten because he said that so long ago. But yeah, I wonder. I mean, so when it said the language of creation, originally I thought maybe it was talking about the languages in the game. But when I read through it again, that's when I realized that it was probably going to be more in depth. But this is almost a semi-lore panel, but it's more like lore via language and not lore via game, I suppose, if that makes sense. Which, I think that would be the reason Koji Fox would be there, given, he knows a little bit about the lore and localization of Final Fantasy XIV. There's definitely going to be memes. But, it feels like there aren't a whole lot of panels, and I wonder... I have to look back, because it feels like there's less panels this time, and more time to actually, I guess, do the stuff around the event. I don't know, it looks that way to me. It seems that way to me. But it's, without having the other fan fests up on the screen, because then it goes right into the concert, 7 p.m. to 8:30, and that's gonna be hype, not gonna be broadcast again. And yeah, I mean, the Primals concert, that's honestly, of all the things I'm gonna miss not being there, I think the Primals concert's the big one, because there's a lot of tracks I want to hear live. That I'm very curious to see which ones they'll choose to perform and which ones they won't perform, because there's a very big mix of music, and also you can feel the impact of Soken's proteges a lot more this expansion, probably because he's in charge of the entire CBU 3 now. He worked on 16. He's always worked on 14, but of course he spent a lot of time on 16 as well. And his proteges have definitely been responsible for some of the more recent tracks, and I think a lot of people don't know or suspect that, because he has 2 proteges that do music for 14.
Which tracks?
I think the Pandemonium tracks are almost certainly influenced, at the very least, the P12 theme. I feel like P9, 10, and 12. I'm sorry, yeah, P9, 10, and 12. I feel like are all done by I don't really know which of the 2 proteges. I always forget each of their different styles, but let me pull them up, because I might be able to get a better example. But sorry, my phone got distracted. My phone distracted me. Imamura. I think Imamura does more EDM style stuff. Imamura, I think, was my favorite on the Pulse soundtrack, because it's both of the guys who did the Pulse soundtrack. Like, they are both like big parts on the music, but it feels like they never get credit, and I don't know. That's like it just feels that way. Like, people have to kind of figure out that it's them. And even like looking at I have the Pulse soundtrack up here, and the titles for the tracks, when they have an artist that isn't Soken, I still have to they're remixed by Takafumi Imamura. So it credits Soken for the original track, and then his proteges are the ones that have the remixes of it. Yeah, so you have Takafumi Imamura, and you have Daiki Ishikawa. Yeah, I couldn't remember if his last name was Ishikawa or something else, because my brain was like, no, you're just thinking that because you just said Ishikawa's name. Yeah, and then you have, we do know about Hayadane for the Four Fiends remix. That's a big one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking, you can tell when it's one of them when the lyrics are much more clear. That's like a big thing. Like, Soken likes to obscure his lyrics as part of the song, and they prefer their lyrics to be up front. So like Scream, for example, I'm almost certain that's Imamura as opposed to like Soken outright. But he is like still the master, like he's still in charge of it. He still has to sign off on it. He probably still has his hand on it. But I don't know. I feel like it'd be nice to hear more about them and from them, given that they are his proteges. Or am I crazy?
Might be on something.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just want to hear more about them and from them, since we just see their names attached to a few songs here or there. Otherwise, they're like a mystery. At least it feels like
one thing. Did you get the Primals Blu-ray or whatever it was that came out like a year ago or something?
No.
Okay. Because I was wondering how long that concert was. What was the runtime on that? Because again, for every Primals FanFest concert, it usually is just an hour, and I feel like that's
it's 90. I'm certain it was 90 minutes for at least the 2018 one was certainly 90 minutes. And I remember when I was in Japan, it was definitely 90 minutes at that live one.
Yeah, they get so. The schedule is giving them an hour.
No, the schedule gives them an hour and a half for the Primals. It's 90 minutes for the Primals. It's an hour for the piano. It's 90 minutes for the Primals.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at
July 20, 7 to 8 p.m. PDT.
No, I mean, I'm looking at it right now on the thing. It says, on presenting the Fan Festival 2023 in Las Vegas stage and stream schedule. Yeah, it was the same in 2018. It was definitely 90 minutes. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says the piano concert says 7 to 8, but the Primals concert says 7 to 8:30.
For this year.
For this year, yeah. I have the page up right here. I think I know why you're seeing it. I think I know why you're seeing it that way, and I'm gonna confirm what I think. Yeah, it's because you're looking at it in the actual schedule of that's on the site and not in the initial post. And for some reason, their schedule cuts off at 8 p.m. Wait, that's the piano. No, hold on. Let me go to the second day. July 29th. Yeah, no, it does. It does say, it is very conflicting. It does actually say 7 to 8 p.m. on the schedule site, but not on the initial schedule post.
Yeah.
That's the Yeah, they cut it off. I don't know why they did that. Maybe they couldn't stretch it to 9 p.m. on the thing, so they just said, forget it. But no, it says on the thing that it's 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on the announcement post, just not on the site. It's very weird.
Good.
So yeah, there you go. But that's it. That's FanFest, and then it's whatever else you're gonna do while you're in Vegas. There's a symphony concert the next night for anyone who is staying the extra day and going to that, planning to make whatever they can of the day in Vegas proper.
Mm-hmm.
But that's FanFest. And after FanFest begins the long wait.
Mm-hmm. So now that we've kind of gone into, FanFest, proper, I do want to take the time to, for people who this may be their first or, their second, no matter what, run through some
deodorant. Pack some fucking deodorant, please.
Tips,
please. And not the spray on bullshit that everyone can smell and hates you for the love of Christ.
No Axe, please. No Axe.
No Axe body spray. Fucking apply it.
Yes, wash your ass. Wash your ass.
Wash your ass. Yeah. That's it.
Bring, perfume, cologne.
No, don't do that, because that shit gives people headaches. Just fucking apply deodorant, for the love of God. I smelled like someone else at like the second FanFest. It wasn't great. They're like, hey, you want to take a picture? It's too late. I guess I have to commit. Oh, that's another big one. Water.
Hydro. Oh, okay. There actually, I did see today, a really good thread on Twitter from a Vegas local who will be attending FanFest. Shout out to who is it? Ziggy Cosplay. I will copy the link to the tweet and go ahead and read it out while I'll take a look. So, PSA for FanFest folks, it's going to be about 110 degrees that weekend. Here's some tips and advice from a Vegas local. I'm not sure where parking lots will be open, but I know a main one for that convention center is not covered. Not leave anything in your car. If you're bringing your car, especially plastic and cosplay props, they will melt. If you are wearing cosplay, even the walk from the parking lot to the con center will be absolutely brutal. If you can, get dressed in the con center or have someone drop you off right outside. I'm not joking when I say a 5-minute walk in the sun will be literal hell. Everyone knows Vegas is hot, but it can also get extremely windy, like cancel all outdoor events and tie down the furniture windy. Looking at you, WWWY Fest. So if it happens to be windy that day, watch your props and hats, and also just another reason to get changed indoors. Bring water, lotion, lip balm, whatever you need to keep your skin hydrated. It's obvious it's very dry here. You might even feel it in your throat and nose. So don't freak out if your airways start to feel dry and crusty. Stay safe and have fun as last-ditch effort. If you or someone has a spare FanFest ticket, you would love to buy it. So
yeah,
and shout out to Zicky.
Yep, I like the call out at the end. Like, by the way, I'm not actually going because I couldn't get one. So please, I respect the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that's pretty much what I would have said. Well, not the cosplay stuff, but I was thinking it too. I was thinking like, man, if I was going in cosplay, I'd want to like get dressed inside because walking there. I will say this, if you are just a regular attendee, like those are all very cosplay specific tips. If you are a regular attendee, it's not the worst thing, but bear in mind, fucking find out where the light rail is in relation to where you're staying. It's basically a train that goes between like 6 or 7 hotels in the convention center. And that will almost certainly be your best bet for getting there if you are not a walk away. And if you got a place that's a walk away, it's probably a really shitty place, unfortunately. So I don't expect to spend much time in that hotel room because it probably has like no fucking space and barely anything because they're all like overpriced and like they're meant for people who are attending the conventions and thus have like no amenities at all. Yeah, the monorail, find the monorail. But if you're in cosplay, do not get on the fucking monorail. Absolutely not. Fucking find a different way. And for food tips, I got nothing. Because you have to eat in the convention. You cannot bring food to the convention center. You have to eat in the convention center or leave and go someplace else. So, Secret Pizza and a Gordon Ramsay restaurant of your choice, and everything else is on you.
Again, I just eat to survive. Like there's one fancy night I'll have, and then the rest is just I'll just take whatever the fuck I can get in my mouth. Phrasing.
That was certainly a choice of words.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny it.
I mean, I always say bring snacks. Jerky's always a good thing to have.
All Slide needs is beer. No, the fuck I don't. It's Vegas. It's hot. Like.
Yeah, Sly was always getting the tall, cool drinks, not the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, see, this time I'll probably have, like... I'll probably just keep cans of fucking liquid death on me, just cause.
Ew, yeah, but they're gonna be fucking warm and, like, hot and shit.
Ugh. I have a fridge in my room.
But not if you bring it to the convention. You're not bringing the fridge to the convention center, Sly.
I know.
You gotta freeze them or something, and if you don't have a freezer, it's gonna be brutal.
The fridge has a freezer.
Does the hotel room fridge have a freezer? Because most of mine don't.
Should.
Sly, I cannot remember the last hotel fridge that I had that actually had a freezer.
It's not one of, like, I can tell you this, it's not one of those little hotel mini fridges. It's like an actual fridge.
You splurged for the real deal.
Yeah. I'm sorry, when you had that like big ass room that I took a lap around, I'm like, okay, next time I'm fucking splurging. So I did.
Yeah. Fair. Okay. Other than that, it's just be fucking normal, please. Please be normal. Just if you're not. And
again for you know people who are seeing, you know, content creators, personalities, yada yada yada. They're people too. Just be normal. Like, I promise you, like, we don't bite. I don't bite. Like, if you come say hi to me, I'm gonna say hi to you, whatnot. I'm going to stop because that's just in my nature. I cannot say no for the life of me. So just be normal. That's all we ask.
Also, if you've literally never seen a creator face to face, for the love of fucking Christ, don't say hi to them and expect them to know who you are. I've had that happen where someone's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'll be like, "Hey," and they'll be like,
"Hi.
Do you not know who I am?" And I'll be like,
"No.
How the fuck would I know who you are? I've never met you at an event before. I've never heard your voice. I've never seen your face. You are a name. I've never seen anything but the name and what you type. So unless you said something I would recognize immediately, no." Yeah, bring a Sharpie too. Yeah, it's never a bad idea to have a Sharpie on you as well.
Yeah.
That was by far, that's happened to me a few times where people are just like, they expect me to know just
to have like something to sign. Like,
no, I mean just to recognize them despite having never seen them before or met them ever at any event. And it's just like, bro, I'm not a prophet. Like, I can't see you through the chat into your monitor because that's literally a crime and creepy as fuck. Yeah. I will say that if you have your username on this, that is super good to do.
Hi, my name is so-and-so. Yeah,
genuinely
awesome.
speaking, those are always, although I don't know how they'll stay stuck to you when you're sweating through your shirt, but you know, that's a whole, it'll be like, "Hi, my name is Soggy." Soggy paper.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Moist.
Hi, my name is Moist. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, so that's yeah, where's Giant Toad cosplay? What do you mean you don't recognize me? That would be funny though, because if somebody did that, I would expect it was part of the joke. If somebody showed up in the Giant Toad outfit with the fucking mask and everything and said, "What, do you not recognize me?" I'd be like, you know what? That's good. That's good. I like it. My name is Moist. That's gonna stick with me. My name is Moist. Fuck. All right. Yeah, and other than that, I would just look at what's around your hotel, like what's easy to access. That's like the only other like major piece of advice. Oh, also, this is actually the ride from the airport to your hotel is probably about 30 minutes. You're going to be in a car for 30 minutes. You're going to hope that car is air conditioned for 30 minutes. You don't know how that car condition is going to be for 30 minutes. Keep that in mind.
Or shuttle. If you
can shuttle. I hate using the shuttle.
I hate using the shuttle
because people suck.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Other than that, no, I don't really have much in the way of advice. I will say, every time I think of FanFest, though, I think of Sly, and I think of my favorite FanFest story, however.
Oh, God.
The story that you are the only reason why that story is public.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't know why you did it. I don't know why you told everyone that story.
Because it was just a sheer shock. Like, it was just, there's just the what the fuckness of the moment. I'm like,
yeah, but it was a secret, and then you made it not a secret. Only you and I knew. So, well, in the sense, it's probably now I'm going to tell everyone. So I was holding a little shindig at my hotel room in Vegas. Mel and I splurged for a suite. We had like the LBR crew over. We had a bunch of creators.
Oh, this was before the last one. Oh,
this is 2016. This is 2016, not 2018. We did have a shindig, but it was a much smaller shindig. That's where you brought the fucking Switch and pretzels and everything. I don't know. It was weird. We had a shit ton of
pretzels.
Yeah, we had. Well, pretzels. We had one of the things that we got from room service were like cheese stuffed pretzels.
Yeah.
So it's just like a thing. So yeah, we had this little shindig, and at one point, Sly disappears for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, I hope he's okay, because we'd all been drinking. So I was like, oh, I hope Sly's okay. And so I went to check on him because he went to the bathroom. And I knock on the door. I was like, Sly, you all right? We haven't seen you in 15 minutes. And he's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm just trying to figure out how the sink works. And to back it up a second, my bathroom was set up where there's an actual toilet room, and then the door opens into the sink room. So I'm standing next to the sink. So I was very confused by the statement of, I don't understand how the sink works. So I was like, oh, well, are you decent? Can I come in? He goes, yeah. I'm just standing here trying to figure it out. And so I walk in and I see him standing over another device in the toilet room. And I said, Sly, did you try washing your hands in this? And he goes, yeah, it's, I don't know. It just keeps spraying water up. I have no idea what to do. And I go, Sly, that's what's called a bidet. Have you ever heard of a bidet before? He goes, no. What is that? I was like, well, when you're done using the toilet, you use this to wash you. And he looks me very calmly in the eye and goes, you telling me I got ass water in my face? And I was like, yes, that is precisely what I'm telling you. I can tell you, I have not used this bidet, so you're safe on that front. But that is its primary function. And I go, now, Sly, the good news is only you and I know about this. We're going to walk back out there. It's just going to say, yeah, you were in the bathroom for a while. Whatever. Nothing happened. Exactly what happened. 15 minutes go by, and he tells everyone.
Yep.
I was ready to keep my mouth shut. 15 minutes go by. He tells everyone. Ratted himself out. And now I get to tell this story to all of you because I'm not secret bound anymore.
He's not.
Nope. It's pretty. And Sly now knows what a bidet is. To be fair, not like they have bidets in most of America.
Funny thing is, even like after that incident, I've gone to homes and I've like had to do demo on bathrooms, and I've seen bidets, and I'm like, oh fuck me.
It's like, what? It's like, why do you have two sinks? Hey, you know what the good news is? Now you do know, so you don't have to wonder why they have two sinks.
Yeah.
There you go. So all I did was educate you.
Yeah.
It was an education by example, just not the right example, but an education.
Nope.
If only I had any story even half as embarrassing as that at a fan fest. I don't, unfortunately. Unless you know one. The only thing I do is lose money at the slots. That's it. Well, I watch Tequila win thousands of dollars at the slots and then go back to Canada where it's worth millions of dollars.
I don't think I'm going to gamble this one. At all. No.
Is that just because it's not in the hotel, so you won't feel like you're going to walk? Because you're not going to walk past slot machines between going from your room to...
Well, to be fair, I think the Westgate is connected to the convention center. So, like, honestly, I think I got, like, the best hotel. Because, like, again, it's not that far for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they hit up the blackjack table. Honestly, I remember I used to like the blackjack tables at the Cosmo as well, because they would do if you did like I forget exactly what the bet level was. It wasn't $10 hands. It might have been $10 hands. You could split to double.
I'm trying to think of what other, besides the Westgate, what other casinos there are close to the convention center.
There aren't very many. You might be able to find some like tiny ones because it's Vegas, so of course there's fucking casinos everywhere. But the major casinos, no, you need to probably get back on the monorail to get to all the actual casinos on the strip.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely.
So if Yoshi P is going to be gambling, he's probably going to do it in Westgate because it's connected.
They probably, I'd imagine he's posted in the Westgate. Like, I'd assume that they don't want him having to, like, he probably doesn't want to have to travel very
go
far,
anywhere.
So,
Yeah.
So, That's obviously we don't know that, but that would be my assumption. It seems like he was probably holed up in the same hotel for the other fan fests that it was in, which makes the most sense, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter. Just leave. I'll just say this: if you see him enjoying his own time, also don't bug him. Don't bug him. Yeah. Like I know it makes for a great story that you see Yoshi P and he's there, but just let the man live his life after everything. After everything he goes through for the events, just let him live his life. That's it. That's my last piece of advice. If you see the devs, let them live their lives. If you see Koji, you might want to say hi, because Koji's good, really good with all that. But that's it. That's FanFest in a nutshell. And then after that, it's a long wait. Although, again, we have the 10th anniversary. We have the Rising, and we have that special Moogle Tome event. We don't know what else they might be planning in the next several months. There's always a bunch of question marks on that. But
yeah,
either way, man, it's just, I don't know. For me, it's just crazy that it's about 2 weeks away. A year from the expansion, probably, but 2 weeks. 2 weeks away from this, it's at the very least, that's got me excited. It's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah.
All right. But other than that, Sly, we didn't really have much else planned for that. Now, I will say this. One last thing before we get going. Do you have any, and it could be stupid predictions. I don't care. Do you have any predictions for what they may or may not announce in the opening keynote that is not the expected? It could be stupid.
You said it. New limited job, Puppet Master.
Why would you take? I thought you were going to say Blitzball. I thought for certain you were going to say Blitzball.
No.
I think if there was one tinfoil thing that was announced, and I really don't think this is going to happen, Xbox. Now, the only reason I say that is because North America does have one other trend. It is always where they announce technical changes in the game's requirements or new platform releases or old platforms being discontinued. They have a history of that. That's where we learned.
PS4 limitation.
Well, no, we know PS4 is on. We know 7.0 has PS4. That wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah. They've already confirmed that. But they've announced the discontinuation of 32-bit in North America, the discontinuation of PS3. If there were to be something that would really surprise me, that would be it. And that is something I don't expect, but would be a batshit prediction. That's it. Okay. That's the only thing that would really, truly shock me. And that's for a number of reasons. For a great many number of reasons.
I mean, it's been a topic we always touched on throughout the years, and every time we visit this topic, it's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Every time we talk about it, I'll tell you the same thing. It is highly unlikely that's going to happen. But you seem to believe it's going to happen this year.
I didn't say that. I said that would be a batshit crazy thing to see, but it is my stupid, not expecting it prediction.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I'm expecting Blitzball. Those two things are not related. I can't predict one thing that's stupid that won't. I don't think it'll happen, and then I have another one because that's also not happening. No, it's not happening. I also don't think they're going to update the free trial ever again.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't see a reason for them to update the free trial. Is not supposed to be free game. It's supposed to be now you feel like buying the game. I think Heaven's Ward serves that well enough.
Oh yeah.
If anything, they might be like, oh, Stormblood's not as good as Heaven's Ward, or they might not like it as much, and then they're like, never mind. You know what? I'm good. But we'll see. Find out in 2 weeks. And then we'll do a show about it the following week.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that's going to be a wrap for our show today, Sly. A little bit on the shorter side, but that's A-okay, because next week's will probably be maybe on the longer side. Maybe. 6.45 initial impressions, variant, criterion, blue mage, Hildebrand, Manderville weapons, complain about tombstones again. Can't wait. I can't wait to complain about tombstones again. And for all the fucking idiots who keep hearing me say I want more options on top of tombstones and being like, no, that's dumb. Why don't you? Tombstones are great, perfect. Just do only that. And I said for more on top of it, you fucking idiot, not to get rid of tomes. It's like you're deaf in one ear. Actually, deaf in both. No, deaf in one. They only hear half of what I said. The half they wanted to hear. You can tell I've dealt with that comment a lot on just wanting more.
Yeah, I can tell your impression is just God.
Stay deaf on the brain. And again, because it's so far from the start of the video for YouTube, I can say all that and not get demonetized.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's sign things off, and I can actually wrap up early today. Shockingly.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it feels good. Oh boy, does it. All right. Well, Sly, thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Just talk about FanFest stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, it's not like I wouldn't have. You're the co-host. I'm glad you're here. So.
I love you too.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you finally said it, because you always deny me my love. You fucking disgrace. Anyway.
Thanks.
Well, every time I say I love you, you don't usually say I love you back, and yet you're the one who calls me Hap Daddy. How can you not love Hap Daddy?
Because dad jokes. Yeah.
You can't call me that and then be upset with the dad jokes. That's like showing up to the baseball game and being mad that they're playing baseball.
Not really.
That's exactly what it is. Damn, Dad. I'm so disappointed in making dad jokes. Sly, where can they find you at?
Oh, well, you can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Gray Fox. You can find me on Twitter at Sly the Fox. As far as like what I've got going on, really just honestly getting ready for FanFest. Mainly that's it. Ooh, what's going on? What's going on this weekend? We have Bon Matsuri happening this weekend on Final Fantasy 14, and I can tell you a little bit about that. Is a event 2023. It'll be on Ultras this weekend. I'll be DJing there this Saturday night along with a few other DJs. They do have a card, thank God. Find more information about that. It'll be over on Ultras from 6 to 11 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, July 15th. Also, I will be holding a glam competition next Friday, which will be after State of the Realm next Friday. And that will be on Primal. There will be more information either today or tomorrow about it. But anyone can enter. Winner will receive 10 million gil plus other shit. So, and plus that is the day that I will say goodbye to my Lubu Glam, and Kayoko Star will help chat pick out a new main glam for me.
Put him in a Subligar.
Was reached. Do not listen to Happy. That's why I'm trusting Kayoko Star to help chat.
I trust him to put I trust him to put you in a Subligar.
Yeah, that incentive was reached, so yeah, we're doing that. So yeah. That's what's going on with me. What's going on with you, Haps? Where can they find you? What are you up to?
Oh, well, what I'm up to is finally taking a fucking break from streaming for an hour or two. Because the whole week I've been doing Streamathon, which is 12 hours a day, as long as people keep extending it with subs. And they extended it till 5 minutes before State of the Realm, pretty much.
Oh, thank God I'm not doing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the event, it was fun because what I was doing is I was doing what's called a shuffler.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's essentially I had Final Fantasies 1 through 9 all loaded up, and every random period of time it just swaps to a different game. And the idea is to try to get through as many as far as you can in as little time as possible. I didn't finish any of the 9 games. Final Fantasy 1 is on the last dungeon. That's the one that's the closest to being done. But we did get quite far, and I let people like adjust the min-max. So we had like people who made it so it swapped every 90 seconds to 2 minutes at one point, and then we had like 20 to 30 minutes at another point, and then people were removing games from the rotation, so I couldn't get them for a while, so I could be spared my fucking suffering of Final Fantasy 3 for a short period of time. That was fun, but that's now wrapped up, and I have incentives to do. I have a cooking stream to do. In fact, the HelloFresh box just got here. I have a Pokemon shiny hunting stream. I have Tactics, which I owe. I have a Jackbox stream, and worst of all, I have a modded Blitzball stream to do.
Oof.
It is a full rebalance.
Yeah, see, at least my incentives are kind of reasonable. Thank God. There's still a few more to meet.
You know what my 90 hour one would have been, Sly?
What?
Hot Sauce Mario Party, where the next time we all play Mario Party, if I don't win a mini game, I have to drink hot sauce.
Yeah, that's on your incentives list, not mine. So yeah.
Anyone want to see Sly drink hot sauce in Mario Party?
I'm not changing the incentives.
But you can add some.
Like oh my God.
And I was gonna do Last Dab too. I was gonna go all the way with it and make it like as brutal as I like Last Dab though.
Define losing.
Second place. Not winning is losing, Sly. So in other words, you hope for the 3-on-1s and you win, or team matches and you win. Because if you're on a team and you both win, then it counts as a win. But don't worry, if I don't win the whole thing, it doesn't matter. I didn't reach it anyway because it was way out there for possibilities. But yeah, team matches and then fucking Sly just throws like, oh no, I didn't mean to press that. Oh no.
This controller's not working.
We've got Criterion on Tuesday though. I've got my crew lined up. Some people I do weekly reclears with. Whoops, Biff, and Keo. So we'll be going in. We'll be doing Criterion and Criterion Savage. Diablo 4 Season 1 is July 20th as well. I've got some sponsor stuff. I've got some sponsor stuff in the next 2 weeks. And then, of course, I'll be co-streaming all FanFest that is streamed. So, that's going to be fun. August has Armored Core and Sea of Stars. So there's that. Pikmin 4 comes out soon, though I don't know if I'll get around to that.
Baldur's Gate for me.
Somebody asked me if I wanted to do Baldur's Gate, and I said, you understand we won't finish that game for 6 months, right?
That is fine. Like, I'm
going to forget what's even happening. But I did have someone ask me if I wanted to do Baldur's Gate, just like a 2-person playthrough.
Oh, that'd be quaint.
Once a week.
That's kind of how I'm doing several groups that way.
So much time to get through. Anyway, that's gonna be a wrap for me. That's what I got going on. And other than that, just keeping up with all the news. Oh, Ever Crisis beta. I got to make a video about that too. I got to talk about that. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. That beta ended last night. It was pretty good. I liked it. I'll talk about it a little bit later.
Okay.
Before we get going, thanks to our sponsors again, everyone on Patreon who supports. You don't have to. All of our content's available for free, but we do appreciate everyone over there for their support. And on top of that, we do have Steel Series, of course, with the 12% discount, which we always have. So be sure to enjoy that, because why wouldn't you? That's it. That's the end of the show. We'll see you next week to talk about patch 6.45. And hopefully there's actually rewards for Criterion this time. There won't be.
Yeah.
There won't be. It's not going to happen. It's going to be the same.
No.
It's going to be just as bad, I think. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, with that, we're going to do a short post show, and we'll see you next week. Until then, we bid you adieu.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.